I don't know what I'm doing that. That doesn't even matter. I was like, gotta make sure.
You gotta look good for the still picture.
Gotta look good for the blind people. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yay.
It's
a not sunny day here in, where are we? Bristol, Virginia.
Are we on the Virginia side?
Yeah, we're on the Virginia side now.
Ooh.
Redcoats.
The Commonwealth.
Ooh. Like we're in Fallout. Today, we decided to cover D.B. Cooper, because that guy just disappeared, and that's pretty weird, right? I mean, guy just disappears.
They made a movie about him.
Yeah, they did.
Without a paddle.
Yeah. They find his bones at the end. And he had burned the money to keep warm.
Yep.
I don't know how you could, you know what really irritates me the most about his story?
What's that?
He really lowballed himself. Because in $250,000, you got to think about all the work put into what he was doing.
Yeah.
He boarded a plane with a suitcase that had a fake bomb in it, okay? And he made the bomb by gluing 2 shaving cream cans together, spray painting them red, and then putting like black wiring around them.
And that was the bomb?
Yeah. And then he boards the plane, and the stewardess comes up. She hands him a note. I mean, he hands her a note, rather. She doesn't think anything of it and just walks away. And he's like, hey, you might want to read that. And then it said something about, I need $250,000 in cash. And I need you to get me some parachutes and things of that nature. And if you don't, I'll do the job.
That's what it said?
Yeah.
I'll do the job.
I'll do the job.
Like an interview?
Yeah, right. But no, seriously. It said, I'll do the job. He ordered, this is the coolest thing about D.B. Cooper, in my opinion. While he was on the plane, he ordered like 2 whiskeys. So he's just sipping whiskey. Apparently he was very calm during this whole thing.
After he had
after
made a bomb threat.
Yeah, he ordered whiskeys.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, you're already like fucking yourself a little bit if it doesn't go through and work out.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, either way, it's
Yeah.
If he got the money, hell yeah. If he doesn't get the money and gets arrested, at least I'm going in feeling a little buzzed.
Exactly. And with $250,000, you could easily place bail.
Yeah, that's
Be kind of a wasted crime at that point. I'm sure they would figure out a way to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah, they'd have to charge you on some ridiculous shit.
You know, the crazy thing about it, up until the case was closed in 2016. It was opened in 1972. But the crazy thing about that is, if they were to find D.B. Cooper tomorrow, they could still arrest him.
Really?
Yeah, they made sure that they had some clause in there that stated, hey, this guy's done some pretty shady shit, to the point where, like, if we catch him tomorrow, since he's evaded us so well, which says a lot about the FBI, but he's evaded us so well, we could catch him tomorrow and we would arrest him.
I was going to say, because don't most crimes, probably not all, but I feel like most, after a certain amount of time, it's like, oh, you committed this crime, but it was 42 years ago.
I guess we can let you off.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it has to be something small, like, I would think, like beating up somebody or something.
I think you can, OJ proves that you can do it with murder.
Yeah, you can. So, you have to be rich, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Race doesn't matter when you're rich at that point.
Fair enough. I forgot.
Have you ever noticed that?
I forgot about the unreal social constructs that we've built over the
years. Pretty fucked up, man. I mean, if you really think about it, there's just poor and then rich.
Poor and not poor.
They try to say middle class, but there's no middle class anymore. You fucking kidding me?
No, not anymore.
Well, okay, we're getting off on a totally different thing here.
That was D.B. Cooper's thing. He wanted to
stimulate the housing market.
Yeah,
to stimulate. So he got $200,000 and doubled down on a little trailer in fucking Nebraska somewhere.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the dream of being a blue-eyed, white, middle-class American alive.
He was actually blue-eyed. He also wore a suit like James Bond. So I feel like he planned all of this out to look like a badass. He was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on there. I'm going to be as chill as fuck. Even though on the inside, I'm fucking flipping. I knew he would have to be. There's no way. You're going to be jumping out of a plane, for one thing.
Unless he's a psychopath.
I might want to. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay. I heard a sound. It made me nervous. I was like, uh-oh. What if it stopped?
Oh.
But
no, it's unless you're a psychopath. That was the sound.
That was the sound. My dumbasses. I'm gonna put this down here. I've been watching a lot of Destroy All Humans videos. I picked that game up because they remastered it. But little fun fact that you would probably imagine, because you're not going to use your real name, D.B. Cooper was a pseudonym. So I mean, he never really gave his real name, which is smart, and they never figured out who he was. I feel like the coolest part about this is that this is the only like aircraft hijacking that hasn't been solved by the FBI. They closed the case in 2016, and like I said, it was opened in 1972. So think about that for a second. They gave up the same year this country gave up. 2016, they realized with the election that there's really no point in going on with anything anymore. So they were just like, fuck it. You know, we're not doing this anymore. And, you know, let's see. My favorite thing about this is that there is a guy named Richard Floyd McCoy Jr. who claimed to be D.B. Cooper. But the only reason that he did claim to be that guy, I feel like, is that he pulled the same shit in 1972 after D.B. Cooper had done it in 1971. The only difference between Richard Floyd and D.B. is that Richard Floyd was actually pretty smart with his demanding of money. $500,000 seems like, you know, pretty good payoff for jumping out of a fucking airplane, D.B. Cooper. Jesus Christ. Think of it, you know, and, you know, besides the fact that he blatantly ripped off D.B. Cooper, I'm more of a fan of his just because he's very smart with his business model. It's like, I'm going to go in there.
Double the money.
Exactly. I'm going to get compensated for being a piece of shit.
I'm going to fuck up this commute.
Yeah.
And get paid for it.
Somebody's going to be late for a business meeting. I don't give a shit. I hope they get fired. Let's see. The funniest part to me is that he jumped out and landed in the middle of a forest.
D.B. Cooper did.
Yeah, D.B. Cooper did, not McCoy Jr. D.B. Cooper jumped out of the plane. He directed the pilot, too, so that's where he wanted to go. That's the thing that's fucking with me the most. He's like, you know what? Over these trees would be perfect. Nothing could go wrong.
I'm gonna... like, can you just imagine?
Yeah.
All right. Now, you see those trees over there?
I need you to go there now.
Go there. Or else I'm gonna open up...
Do the job.
I'm gonna open up this shaving cream.
Yeah.
And then you'll be sticky. Do you want that?
Ooh. Which would miraculously, I'm surprised the pressure didn't. Well, it was probably empty. Shaving cream. I mean, I would not waste my shaving cream.
Well,
I mean, look at all this hair.
Maybe he had bought it beforehand.
You're right.
And then he was like, well, I'm going to have to go into hiding.
God, what am I thinking?
What's the best way to hide your identity?
Shave.
Grow a beard.
Oh.
So he didn't need the shaving cream anymore.
You're right. He was like, I'm going to take it all and tape it together.
And then he donated the shaving cream to the pilot and said, thank you for the $250,000.
Peace.
Drop me off in this forest.
Peace. And then no remains were ever found. That's fun.
Did he get all the money?
Yeah, he got all the money, but the thing about that is the way he jumped out, people around that watched him do it say that, like, I guess the pouch that the money came in was not a sufficient pouch.
Yeah, it wasn't like secured right. Because
So
people were finding like
money
20s.
was just flying everywhere. I bet he regretted that decision the moment he jumped out because money was just, he was like trying to grab it. It's like being in one of those air things with the money.
Oh, the glass box.
Yeah, where you have to get as many dollar bills as possible.
And it's impossible.
It is impossible.
Like a good amount of money.
Wonder what cocksucker came up with that idea and said, you know what, we'll use it.
A rich guy.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I have all these dollar bills laying around. I might as well put them in a glass box and make poor people try to grab onto them.
I mean, what's your favorite pastime? Oh, well, sometimes I like to go down to the homeless shelter and throw a $5 bill between two guys and watch them fight for it.
Like bum fights. Do you remember bum fights? Yeah. That happened. And then Dr. Phil made the guy that made bum fights come on his show. And the dude cut his hair like Dr. Phil. And he dressed like Dr. Phil. It was fucking hilarious. You should look that up, people, if you're listening. Bum fights, Dr. Phil. That's all you need. A man actually, but to get back on the subject here, because this is like my last fun fact I have before we just pick this whole thing apart and make fun of it. A man claiming to be DB gave an interview with the Seattle Flag newspaper in 1972, about a year after he got drunk on a plane and stole money. God, that would be fun. That's like something out of GTA. Why doesn't Grand Theft Auto have a mission, like kind of giving kudos to him for being a good criminal? Because he got away with it. A lot of people rob things and don't get away with it.
Now there is that mission in Grand Theft Auto 5 where you play as Trevor and you're in that airplane, the army airplane.
Oh yeah.
And you're having to all those Jeeps are strapped down and you have to cut them out.
Yeah.
And you're throwing people out the back of the plane.
Yeah, it's fun. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Just because the story is so fucking ridiculous.
It really is.
It is crazy. But it looks like the guy that gave the interview with the Seattle Flag newspaper claimed to have an original $20 bill from that night. He claimed to have buried his parachute. He buried his parachute, supposedly, after he landed. But I feel like you'd break both your legs, so I don't see how. Unless it was just like a miraculous act of God, he was just meant to steal that money. That was his path. But, after the interview was over and conducted, at the interview ending, obviously, DB said that he was going to disappear for about 5 years, which I feel like is pretty generous. I feel like you should go with 10, but 5 years?
This guy just undersells himself all the time.
He does. He's like, he's honestly, God, he's like the Joaquin Phoenix of crime. Well, I'm not that good. You are that fucking, no, I'm not that good. No.
I know I made The Village. It was bad judgment on my part.
M. Night Shyamalan said, hey, man, sometimes my movies are good, sometimes my movies are bad. This may be a good one. You don't want to miss out on that.
I thought it would be like Signs. It wasn't.
Later on, he comes out with Glass. I could have been a part of that, but no.
I already had a sour taste in my mouth because of The fucking Village.
The Village. Such a stupid movie, first of all. Fucking blind-ass lady. In the church. Oh my God! But yeah. Clearly I haven't seen that movie in years because there's not a lot I can riff on. I just remember a blind lady.
Yeah, it was really weird. Well, the thing about his movies is that he always has a twist.
Ooh.
Like a twist ending.
Right.
And the twist ending of The Village, spoiler alert for everyone listening that hasn't seen a 20-year-old fucking movie. Spoiler alert.
Look out.
The movie, you think the whole time the movie is taking place in the 1700s, but it's really just this secluded cult in the middle of a forest, and it's actually 2004.
Who would have thought? That's actually kind of cool. That's a cool concept, but if you sit through the entire thing, you wonder why he didn't capitalize on that concept.
Yeah.
Because the entire thing's just fucking terrible. From what I remember.
Yeah, I
want to add that part.
I watched it again not too long ago, actually, and I thought to myself, wow, I remember a time when I thought this movie was okay.
There's something special here.
Kind of like how I feel about Toy Story 2 now.
Ugh.
It's like Toy Story 2 was okay.
Well, anytime you introduce a ginger to the cast, you gotta be looking for trouble.
How
You gotta be looking for...
D.B. Cooper.
Yeah, dude. Oh, god damn, dude. We're fucking terrible at this. Why do we even do it? Why? Yeah, D.B. Cooper, he's honestly a hero of mine, just due to the fact that, well, how many people do you know? Or how many people have you heard of, rather?
I know a lot of people.
How many people have you heard of getting away with robbery? Not many. Actually, none. I don't understand why people still try to rob banks. They've seen it on the news so many times. Like,
You got your big five.
you know what? I think I can do that.
You've got the big five.
What's the big five?
The 5 people that have gotten away with crimes like that.
Let's hear it.
You got D.B. Cooper.
DB, he's number one, right?
You got someone that you've never heard of.
Who's that?
That's number 2.
Really?
No one knows.
What the fuck, mystery guy?
Number 3, 4, and 5.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh,
He just-
okay. Yeah, number 2 is O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So number 1, D.B. Cooper. Number 2, O.J. Simpson. 3, 4, and 5, collectively known as the Big 3 within the Big 5.
Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Let's see, Prince Charles.
Close.
Oh. Well, they're all pedophiles, so I thought.
Trevor Phillips, Michael DeSanta,
You motherfucker.
and Franklin. I forget what Franklin's last name.
Franklin's last name. Do you even find his last name out? I'm just gonna say his last name's Carter.
And then throw in Lamar, because he was the funniest.
Yeah. No Kendrick. We want Lamar. Hold the Kendrick, please. No, for real. Some honorable mentions here. People that almost got away with their crimes. Jeffrey Epstein. He almost got away with it. Would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Because he's a pedophile. Anyway,
Oh, man.
it was funny. I didn't mean to do that. That's on recording. I'm happy about it.
Well, speaking of Scooby-Doo,
Where are you?
have you ever noticed that the first person they meet in the episode is always the person that ends up being the bad guy?
Yeah, you can solve. Dude, I could solve these mysteries for them. They should do one on DB.
First person they meet once they open the case.
Holy shit, Tim.
I'll save you an hour and a half. That's him.
My allergies are just working hard.
Overtime.
Overtime.
They're working overtime.
Taking care of business. Every day. No, seriously, when you live out here, your allergies do take care of business every day.
Oh, watch out. We got a badass.
We got 2. I don't know. I'm not in the mood to fight a biker gang, bro. They'll stab me.
They were wearing reflective vests.
Oh, never mind. They're not badasses in that case. We could take them.
They're probably county workers.
They probably are on their Harleys. They're riding that hog. They're riding that hog. I love that song. It's not a real song. It was on Courage the Cowardly Dog back in the day. So, my question to you, after all this, talking about D.B. Cooper and then our ADD kicking in, going all over the fucking place, do you think he's still alive? Well, obviously not anymore. I would feel he's...
I was going to say it depends on how old he was in 1971.
Well, they said early 30s, so, I mean...
Could be. That means he would have been born in the 40s.
Which means that he,
Stephen King was born in the 40s. He's still alive.
True. My dad was born in 1955 or something. He's still alive. Johnny Cash, he was born in the 50s. He's
Dead.
He wasn't born in the 50s. He was famous in the 50s. What am I thinking?
Yeah, he was... When was he born?
Like the 40s or 30s or something. Yeah, so
If you can tell, if we don't research a subject, we don't really know much about it,
exactly.
as you can see.
But now that we have researched, we pretty much got everything that.
I think he could be out there. I think more realistically, though, is that when he landed, he probably, like you said, broke a few bones.
I was about to say, there's a possibility that, like, a lot of people speculate that he may have broken his legs or something on the fall. There was no way. He would definitely have shattered his ankles.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to land, the average male is like 150, 160 pounds if they're not overweight. So, I mean, 170 pounds crashing to the ground on your ankles.
And he had a parachute, but they weren't that high up by the time he jumped, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, he would have had to have pulled that thing.
Like, before he
out.
jumped. Like, he would have had to have been like, all right, bye.
Yeah, seriously. Which would probably explain why money went everywhere, because, that's gonna cause you to fucking pivot around and all kinds of good shit.
Yeah,
Gonna be
honestly.
flying around in the sky like a pop balloon.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like he probably broke something when he landed. Or, because it was in a remote area.
Exactly.
He could have potentially gotten stuck in a tree, too.
I straight up feel like he died.
Yeah, I feel like he did not last long after he left the plane.
And then, the thing about that is there are animals in the fucking woods, obviously, that will eat bone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, people are like, they didn't find any remains. Yeah, he was probably eating and shit out, like, 10 hours after he fucking landed. And that's why people were able to, like, recover the money and stuff, is because the money was,
Animals
spread
don't
out.
have a need for money.
Exactly. They have a need for your flesh to stay alive. But
Animal farm wasn't real.
exactly. And the wildest thing about this, in my opinion, is the jump in itself. And the fact that he landed the plane to get the 200,000 and then they took off again. Like, nobody rushed because of, obviously, the bomb threat.
They landed while he got the money?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's an important part, too, is that, during this whole, I've got a ransom, you guys better pay up, I'm hijacking this plane, we're going to land here, we're going to collect the money, and we're going to take off.
Where did they land? Just like a random place?
This was up north somewhere, so, you would have to be, let's see, try to find...
Because people have the perception that up north just means New York, all
Yeah,
around.
and
But
that's
there's a lot of fucking farmland. There's a lot of forest, rural areas.
You know what? Where? Because I want to know now, like, where in between he landed.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had landed while he collected the money and then took off again.
They landed in somewhere between Seattle and Reno, apparently, so apparently it's not even really 100% known. They just know that it's, like, between Seattle and Reno is where they landed to collect that shit, which makes sense because, there's a plethora of money just floating around near Reno and Nevada and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not hurting over there. So, I feel like it would be easy to, like, just especially if you have the authority, walk in and be like, hey, we need 200,000. Gotta fucking send this guy money.
Especially if it was, like, northwest over toward there. Like, there's just a bunch of nothing for, hundreds of miles around.
And then whenever they picked up the plane and went wherever, near the woodland areas and stuff, it didn't even really go that far, so it could have very well been like, Seattle somewhere. Because, like you said, there are a lot of rural areas. I don't understand the misconception of the North, because there are a lot of rural areas in the North where you could easily just,
especially in the Northwest.
Disappear and hide.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of It's kind of like that everywhere, though. Like, everyone has the perception of, like, the Northeast being just New York for thousands of miles.
Yeah.
And then they have the Northwest just being, like, Seattle and Portland for thousands of miles. And then they have the Southwest as just Los Angeles and nothing else. Parts of Las Vegas, and then they have the Southeast as just poor racists.
Woo! it's you know, all in all, this just goes to show, no matter how thought out your crime is, it's probably not going to pay, because that's just too much work. And, you know, even if he did survive, he probably had to use most of the money on medical expenses.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, just...
Yeah, I feel like he's not alive.
He's dead.
to put it lightly.
Regurgitated. There's really 2 other people that have tried to pull that shit off, too. That... What kills me is the FBI has, like, what he looks like.
Yeah.
And they have endless supply of social security numbers. You'd think between 1972 and 2016, they would be like, holy shit, here's that guy's social, that must be him.
Yeah.
But it's just not that simple, I guess. I'm just a simple man in
But they
Virginia.
can find anybody else.
Yeah.
Except D.B. Cooper. The legend lives on.
Unfortunately.
Except for the fact that he probably died.
Tears. I mean, even if he did die, we're still talking about him, right?
That's true.
You know, people are still talking about him constantly. BuzzFeed has an unsolved mystery about him. Fun fact.
We're really gonna...
We're gonna plug BuzzFeed?
Yeah.
Well, BuzzFeed, they do suck. So I feel like they deserve, you know, I feel like they deserve a plug. Maybe somebody will be like, wow, this is actually interesting. I love it when this Asian guy talks in the most annoying voice possible while reading off a screen.
Good old BuzzFeed.
Right.
Their quizzes are my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
What fruit are you?
A fucking idiot. That's what kind of fruit I am. What kind of fruit am I? The nightclub fruit. That was a homophobic slur. Can you believe fruit was a homophobic slur? Fruit is delicious.
I like fruit.
I don't understand. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with gay men. So for you to associate 2 good things and try to make them bad makes no sense to me, America.
Makes you an asshole.
Yeah, it does make you an asshole. Wait, yeah.
2 things again. Asses and holes.
Fruity.
And it makes you an asshole.
Tutti fruity. It's one of my favorite phrases. Where are we at?
28 and a half minutes.
Damn, we did good. I
did
told
it.
you this was enough material. You yelling at me.
Well, I mean, that happens off camera.
Yelling at me and shit.
It's not on the record.
God damn it, Seth. No. It'll be longer next time, I'm sure.
Well, I hope you
This
all
was my
enjoyed.
first time. This is my...
Hope you all enjoyed the legend of D.B. Cooper.
I'm not a virgin anymore.
He's not.
I don't get to sing that Madonna song.
Like a virgin.
Does that mean... Was that song like her being like, whoa, this is a lot for me to take. It feels like I'm a virgin again. Or like, what was that song about?
I don't know.
said,
I don't know.
we're not going into that.
Oh well. Maybe we'll discuss Madonna next time.
I got the COVID.
Oh well, you heard it here first, guys. We'll see you next time.
That means you've got it.
That means
my family has it.
that it's like TB.
It's worse than AIDS. You know, you don't have to fuck anybody to give this fucking disease. You just have to cough. Actually, breathe.
Well, let's end it on that note.
Yeah, let's end it on that. I love you guys. You're the best. But
stay safe and don't try to be like DB Cooper.
Stacey Doss still gives better blowjobs.